first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Figure I put a challenge out. I haven't done one of these in a while. So we're calling this the Contrast Ambient Light Projection Challenge, which means your screen would have to be to pull a star field demonstration, and it would have to be to do it in a fully lit environment or a lot of ambient light pushing through. I'm doing this on the easy level. We're just using this with the basic ambient light that comes into the environment every day. I think we're at around, let's see, I started doing my recording at around 9 o'clock. My screen's still on. It is, let me see, go back here a minute. We're at 456. So usually, like I said, when I see a lot of these high-end projection screens and screen paints that claim to be to do contrast demonstrations, they do these little tricks where they turn out the lights back and forth anytime contrast pops up. They got to constantly turn the lights out in order to make the contrast look better. Well, here's a challenge. We're going to leave this open at the bottom so you can place your link at the bottom. And this is including companies too that we're putting this challenge out to. So if you think your technology is the best, you're going to have to back it up now. So keep in mind, this is the easy one. These screens are designed to pull images outside. So we'll start the first one inside. We'll do another one in a fully lit environment, which you know that's going to happen anyway tonight. And then we'll do the third one outside. So you have to pull a star field demonstration. That's the only thing you have to display. And you have to do it in a fully lit environment. That's why I said I don't like it when people do demonstrations where they fake demonstrations. Like I said, that constantly turning off the lights over and over again. Anytime it came to the contrast levels, yeah, you fake that demonstration. So I'm going to give you a challenge, everybody a challenge. And like I said, I'm going to leave the bottom blank, put your links at the bottom, show me what you got. Now, I expect for certain people to reply back with nasty comments. That's your nature. I expect for you to act that way. But it doesn't change the fact that you can't do it. Metallica Mix 2.0. Can't see contrast. Projector behind me has 22,000 to 1 contrast. That's the lighter, that's not even the lighter one yet. Daylight's gunmetal screen. This is their parallax, which I'm going to say incorrectly anyway. Mind you, this is not even a black nova. A black nova can withstand just about everything because the screen's black. It's designed to absorb light. This is a gunmetal technology. What's going to be? Oh, you knew that was coming. Doesn't like to stay on that screen that much. Let's try it again. If not, we'll get some more sticky tape. Doesn't have to be at the long. It's going to be a long uphill battle. Now, what I don't like is when someone claims to be something that it's not. Like when someone's portraying their product to be the poor contrast level when it can't. Doesn't have the capability to contrast at all. I could sit there and say, hey, the contrast levels are going to be fair, or they're going to be a little low, but the white levels are going to be higher. Now you're selling your product as it's supposed to be. But when you're actually trying to portray it to show that it does a contrast level and it really doesn't, and you're trying to compare yourself to us and saying it's the same thing, well, now we're telling you, you do the demonstration, or anyone who can basically prove that they can do it, you can put it at the bottom. And you show me. Yeah, we're going to get some sticky for him. It's not going to stick. And you could prove that your screen can do it. Now, this is going to be posted on a huge page, giant video, on our website, our challenge to everybody. For all to see on that web page. I get lots of hits on my page. Fresh. I should have no problem if that comes down, then I know something's weird. Now keep in mind, it's not even bright in here yet. It's not even bright in here. This is just a normal light that pushes in. Let's see. Now, like I said, in that demonstration you did, people that are blinded by your product can't see it. People that are in the professional field that have been doing this for years can see it. We can see all the little areas where you hide. And even with the big companies, I can see your stuff too. I can see you're using high-end projectors. I know you calibrate your equipment. I know you use enhancement software. I know all that stuff. I know for a fact that your environment's all ambient light controlled. You push your light where you want it to go. You keep it far away from your screens. That's what you do in your demonstrations. And we know what your hobbyists, what you call yourself hobbyists, when you do screen paint demonstrations, you constantly keep your screens in dark environments. Now, when you try to prove your screen of having any form of ambient light rejection capabilities, you will stick to bright, vivid colors. When showing off your screens, I've said this multiple times, and they do it constantly all the time. But when it comes to contrast levels, you will keep those in the dark because you have a better chance of producing a black level in a dark environment than you do in a well-lit environment. That's why anytime someone does a contrast demonstration, it needs to be done in a well-lit environment, so that way you can see how fast the screen will fade or the contrast will fade. By them doing this, this is what we call terms of smoke and mirrors. Now, mind you, that is your Metallica Mix 2.0, and that is a $5,000 projection screen. This is your personal mix, which is actually lighter than your Metallica Mix. If your Cinema Mix is lighter than this, then it's not going to do well. So people have to understand that when you buy a projector, tell me the last time you bought a projector and a projector bragged about its white levels. When you buy a projector, does it ever say, hey, it has a 2 million to 1 white level? No, it doesn't talk about that. It talks about contrast, your black levels. Black levels are very important. If you notice that when you look at screens today, they're dark black screens. If you came up in my era, screens were actually kind of a really, really light gray and had tubes in the back of it. That's how old I am. So when you think about it, in the industry of home projection, the lighter screens are cheaper and the darker screens are more expensive. You look at the Dark Star 9, you have the white screen. Those are the bottom dollar screens, the cheap screens. You have the Cinema Gray, which is a light gray screen, about $800, $900. Then you step up to the Dark Star 9 or the Cinema Gray 5D and 3D, which are a little darker. Price jumps again, $1,300, $1,400. Then you go into the Dark Star 9. Those are gunmetal technology. Those are darker screens. Now you're talking about $3,000. There you go. So the darker screens are actually the more expensive screens because they produce better contrast and they produce deeper colors. Now, if someone's trying to tell you that light gray screen paint is going to produce the same contrast as a gunmetal screen, not even going to happen. A black screen, not even going to happen. Can't pick up contrast. Now, if I've been saying this over and over again about how certain screens can't pick up contrast, can't see color, what would be the first thing you would do? You would display a star field demonstration, any form of contrast demonstration. Showing up demonstrations where you have little mixtures of black in the video, that's a fail. You know what a contrast demonstration is? Look it up. A contrast demonstration is mostly either 98% black in that screen. It's designed to pull a contrast level to show you the darkness of the screen, the depth, and all that. That demonstration does not prove a black level. Any OLED demonstration, yes, I always choose the horse and the beta fish because those have the heaviest contrast levels. The New York City screensaver at night, that particular one, very heavy contrast level. Starfield demonstration, extremely heavy contrast level. We got another one to go here. So now we're going to choose the Dark Star 9. Elite Dark Star 9. This is gunmetal technology. It's designed to be darker screens. That right there. Look at all these interesting screens laying against my technology. And not one of them is pulling a contrast level at 22,000 to 1. A simple 22,000 to 1 contrast, and they can't pick it up. I sat there and said that I was going to design a gunmetal screen that was going to be so impressive that no other gunmetal screen would stand against it. And there it is right there, sitting in my living room at 126 inches. Now I got a pre-recorded video coming up where we had sunlight pushing in on the screen and I was showing the demonstration. But now we ain't got our sunlight. So now we got to turn the lights on because we don't have enough lights. It's too dark in here. All right, those of you who have white screens, you are not picking up any contrast whatsoever. You're not picking up any color whatsoever. You're picking up nothing at all. Some people will go out and spend a lot of money for a projector because they think the projector is going to make up for what the screen has lost. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to buy a projector to make up for what your screen is losing. I have downgraded on the screen multiple times. I have. When I first started off on this screen, I had a Christie projector. No, I had a Sony. Sony was the first projector I had set up on the screen. I went from 4,300 lumens, 1920 by 1200 WXGA to a projector of 4,300 lumens, another Christie projector. From the Christie projector, I downgraded to the ultra short throw NEC, which was a 720p WXGA, and I went from that one to a projector that is around 600 by 800 720p SVGA. Actually downgraded my projectors. That's interesting when people are spending money to upgrade to better their picture quality. I'm downgrading my stuff. We have a challenge which I'm going to post in the comment section. It's called the Ultimate 1100 Challenge. It's been floating around since 2019 and has never been beat. You can Google that one easily. It's never been beat. Never have been beat. We have another challenge called the 50 lumen challenge. You know, we got a 50 lumen challenge. We use a 50 lumen projector outside. Never been beat. White screen. So you got a white screen. Told you, you don't pick up nothing at all. Nothing on a white screen. Sad thing about white screens is the fact that when you go into Amazon or some of those pages, they put that Photoshop on top of it to make it look like the screen's looking fantastic. You know, you got a big family out there, you got the big screen, plenty of light coming in, you got them all outside eating popcorn, and people really think they're going to get that image. You're not going to get that image at all. They get home, they set it up, they buy a really good projector, they read all the specifications on the projector, the contrast levels, the color capabilities and all that, and they think, you know what, this is going to do it. Then you set it up and you turn your lights on and bam, you got nothing. You got nothing. 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 You turn the lights out and the image gets better. And you think, oh, it looks much better. No, it's still trash. I'm sorry to say, it is still trash. That's not your fault. Trust me, it's not your fault. It's the people who sell it. It's their fault. We need a cinema grade 5D. That's what we need. Let me go grab one of those. Fly me to the moon. Let me look from the stars. Let me Let's see. We have all these sample sheets. We have a lot of sample sheets, don't we? So this is the Cinema Gray I was telling you about. Cinema Gray. See how light that is? $800. And then it gets a little darker. When you get to the 3D and 5D, it goes up to $1,300 to $1,400. That's for 100 inch only. This paints up to 100. My screen's 126 inches. So if it's $1,400, $1,300 to $1,400 for a 100 inch, what do you think 120 inch will cost you? Not 126, 120 inches will cost you. Nope. Can't even see it. Let's go with the Cinema Gray. Cinema Gray, let's put it up there. Let's put that one right here. Now see how this one picks up a little darker than that one? Because that one costs more than that one because of the contrast level, because the screen's a little darker. This is the screen everybody talked about so much, the Lux. The Lux screen, the Lux screen, the Lux screen, the Lux screen, the Lux screen. When I first saw that screen, the first thing I picked up in the demonstration on how well they kept hiding the light from the screen, how they kept the screen always in the dark. They didn't do any contrast demonstrations on it, which led me to believe the screen does not do well with contrast. It can't pick up a contrast level to save its soul, and it's going to have problems. Now, keep in mind that anytime we show up a black screen or any screen we design, the first thing I show you is your white levels. That's the first how I start every video off. Let's see what the white levels show first. And then we'll go over to the different colors. Do I not do that? Yes, I do, every single time. When's the last time you see somebody take a gray screen paint? I mean, you take a black piece of cardboard and stick that in the middle of the screen and say, let me see where the contrast levels lay at. They don't do that, do they? Nope. Like I said, when you go out and you buy a projector, you let me know when it says on your projector that it brags about the white levels. It never does. It talks about your contrast. Everybody brags about their contrast on their projector. I got 50,000 to one. I got 2 million to one. They brag about those contrast levels. And contrast is needed. You know, it's interesting how people saying to me that, you know, how come there's no black movie theater screens? And I'm going to say to you, well, you might not have to hold your breath for too long. I told you I had some projects coming up, some very big projects coming up. I'm not going to say much about it, but I might get one before I die. Isn't that interesting? Life is interesting. There's a whole lot of things that go on in my world that you don't know about until I tell you. Yeah. Yes, sirree. A lot of interesting projects popping up. People are doing interesting things. All right, let me see if we got the right side, because with this, if you get the wrong side, what happens is it basically hot spots, because that's the reflective side. Isn't it interesting how we're not even in front of the screen yet, and already you can't see the contrast. What I thought was interesting, before I even bought the Surface, that the fellow was bad-mouthing me about this screen, talking about how it would replace screen paints. You didn't do your research well enough. But how it would replace screen paints altogether, and how he kept talking about this particular screen. So I looked it up, found the company, bought 60 inches of it, and brought it over here and just see what it has. And it didn't do well on any of the screens we had here. Even the color screens that were different colors were able to change multiple colors, and that screen couldn't keep up. And it can't be used into the ultra short throw, because if you have an ultra short throw projector, you're out of luck on that one. It has to be used for long throw only. Those you have ultra short throw, you can't have that screen. All right, so it's my neighbor's dog in the background. It's probably barking at squirrels again. They tease them all the time. It's a shame. But anyway, that's not about that demonstration. So in his demonstration, when he was displaying the screen, I noticed that, yeah, he had a window way over there, and he had a bunch of plants in the windows to block as much light as possible. It's dark around the corners and all that other crazy stuff. You know, just certain things he was doing. And one of the things I love, he was showing a lot of colorful demonstrations. No dark contrast demonstrations at all. I know people are probably sitting there thinking, well, why don't you turn your lights on? We just did a demonstration with all the lights on. Literally just showed outer space. But you need more light. There you go. See that? Just imagine you have this 126-inch screen sitting in your lounge area, and you got one of these screens sitting against your screen. This is what you have. You have this one or one of these, or you paid $5,000 for one, $3,000 for one, $800 for one, or you bought Crow's product. This is what you'll get. You can't see contrast at all. Now later on tonight, we'll do the same thing again, but this time we'll do color demonstrations, and we'll do it in a pitch black environment. And I'll show you, even with the lights out, you still can't see color or contrast at all. White levels are way too high. That's why I always show up the white surface first. That's why it doesn't surprise me, and I find it hilarious, is when someone does a demonstration and they put it against a white screen and say, hey, look, this is how his white levels come up. That's the first thing we show you in any demonstration. Anytime we do a demonstration, I'll show you white levels first. I have to do white levels because I have to see exactly how high their white levels are actually pushing off. And if their levels are too high, then it lets me know that the screen can't see color or contrast. That's how I know. So I have to show you that from the first beginning. But this is going to be a contrast and ambient light projection challenge. Now, if I'm wrong in this demonstration, if I pulled any smoke and mirrors or magical tricks or whatever powers I may have, which if I did, this world would be a different place. But anyway, then back it up. Put a link at the bottom. That's all you got to do. Any one of these companies, put a link at the bottom. Crow, put a link at the bottom. Do a demonstration with this much light that we have in the environment. See how bright my environment is? See how much light we have in here? No dark spots, nothing. My projector even sits 18 feet away from the screen. So it has to do a distance throw, automatically. You don't have these kind of windows in your house, so you're not going to do this at all, period. But you do have 2 windows behind the back that you can push those all the way up and let that light push in. Oh, goody. Sunlight's starting to come through again now. That's even better. And that's all you have to do with display a star-filled demonstration in a fully lit environment. Now, keep in mind, I doubt any of these companies up here claim to have such an insane contrast level. I doubt they've done that already. They have. Well, that one, a couple of the gunmetals, yeah, because gunmetals are designed to basically do darker contrast. But the problem with you is you claim your product to be something that it's not. And you do a lot of jump and hurdles to try to make it seem like it's something that it's not. And that's why I've been requesting over and over again, star-filled demonstration, and you will not do it. Keep in mind, it's the same individual asked me to flip my screen around on a black Nova and show off the back side of that black surface that we were showing off. And we did that. What happened? The black Nova produced a higher white level, and the other screen came out kind of dark and hot spotting like crazy. So if I did that with no problem, then you could do the request that I've requested you to do. Fully lit environment, star-filled demonstration on that screen to show that your screen does not pull contrast level at all. Because you're not being fair to your customers and you're not telling them the truth. Now, I'm not just challenging you, I'm challenging everybody. Okay, well, challenge is out. Let's see how long it takes for him to basically complete the challenge. Let's see how long we get if we get anything at the bottom of the page. I'm not going to basically block comments. I'm going to leave everything open at the bottom, and we'll come back and check live. And Screen Innovation, if you hear me out there, I'm very interested in doing a side-by-side demonstration of your screen versus my technology. Oh, well, with that being said, thank you all for your time. I have to go. Ooh, sun's coming out. Look at this. Look at this. Sun's coming out. Sun's coming out. Sun's coming out. I love this. I love this. This is where the energy starts to push through. The sun's coming. It's pushing through. Yeah. And these are just 17s. They're not even 21s. Oh, I can't tell you about that yet. I'll have to show it to you later. We got a new coating for Signature 17. Can't tell you about that yet. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to bring a whole new different line of blackout cloth that's going to be really fun to work with. But I can't tell you about it yet. Not yet. Not until we do the test. Until we finalize the test on it and see how it's going to react. But I can say one thing. It is going to involve something with rear technology. All right. Got to go, and God bless.